The Swope Park Rangers have started their inaugural season with a tough road schedule, but tonight they return to friendly home pastures, hoping to get back in the win column. To do so, they'll need to tame the Toros of Rio Grande Valley FC, who come into this game in 4th place in the Western Conference and in hot form. It's Swope Park Rangers versus Rio Grande Valley FC, live from Kansas City, Missouri. And welcome on in to Children's Mercy Victory Field and beautiful Swope Soccer Village here in Kansas City, Missouri for tonight's game between Swope Park Rangers and Rio Grande Valley FC. With Dave Borchert, I am Carter Augustine. Will be your commentators for tonight's USL Western Conference clash. Let's take a look at those lineups, starting with the visitors, Rio Grande Valley FC. The Toros making a few changes to their lineups tonight, most notably Memo Rodriguez dropping to the bench, and the leading goal scorer for Rio Grande Valley FC, and scored 2 goals against Swope Park Rangers in their first matchup this season, Dave.
Definitely a good lineup. Rio Grande Valley unbeaten their last 6 matches. Tonight, the Rangers are going to have their hands full defensively. Watch out for TJ Kastner, 4 assists on the year, as well as Jose Escalante, 2 goals, 1 assist, a very fast player. And Charlie Ward, the captain tonight, a playmaker in the midfield. Doesn't light up the stat sheet, but a guy that really makes the offense go.
4 changes in total to the side, coached by Wilmer Cabrera. Now let's take a look at the home side. The Swope Park Rangers, who return home where they last won their last home game against the Tulsa Roughnecks, and they're on a bit of a 3-game slide without a win, and they'll look to Mark Anthony Gonzalez up top, coming off his first professional goal over the weekend. But Dave, you're looking at that back line, most notably Alec Can coming in from Sporting KC.
Yeah, the defense for Swope Park hasn't been great this year. They've conceded a goal, at least a goal in every single match. Tyler Pasher shifts back to the back line. He's normally more of an offensive-minded player. We'll see how he'll fare tonight at left back. And then Alec Can, as you mentioned, on loan from Sporting KC, a very good player, but hasn't had a lot of training time with his teammates. The communication will be key there, and we'll see how Can works with his new teammates tonight on the back line.
Swope Park Rangers are managed by Mark Dos Santos, and they look to get back in the win column tonight. Stick with us as we're going to take a break, and when we're back, it'll be kickoff from Kansas City, Missouri, as the Swope Park Rangers take on Rio Grande Valley FC. And welcome back to Children's Mercy Victory Field in beautiful Kansas City, Missouri, as we're about ready to kick this one off between the Swope Park Rangers and Rio Grande Valley FC. Joined by Dave Borchard, I am Carter Augustine. As Swope Park getting ready to take the kick in the center circle, they'll be going from right to left in this first half in their traditional blue-on-blue striped uniforms. And Oliveira gets the first kick underway. Gonzalez dropping it back to Granito, and now all the way back with Tommy Meyer. And Meyer will clear it long for the first aerial duel of the game, won by Ivan Magalhães, but second ball falls to Swope Park Rangers, and that's Natsel Selbel on the ball. A good little turn there, and he'll get it into Oliveira, who tries to turn on his defender, and is whistled to have picked up the first foul of the game.
Very good spot on the field for the Rangers to get an early free kick. This is a definitely goal-scoring opportunity here in the first minute of the match. Hopefully they can get good service into the box and find someone to head it or poke it into the back of the net. This is a great start for the Rangers as they're trying to break a losing streak coming off a loss last weekend, and a good chance here right off the bat.
Two players standing over the ball for the Rangers, Kevin Oliveira and now Tyler Pasher, going to move back to his left back position where he will be playing tonight. Interesting lineup shift from head coach Mark Dos Santos. And here comes the ball in from Oliveira. It's a good header. Back to Selbo, who turns, switches it to his left foot, and the shot is blocked away by the Toros. And now they'll try and break. But Tyler Pasher able to get back and recover on defense.
Really good service on that one by Oliveira, but unfortunately nobody from the Rangers able to direct it at goal, and now working the other way.
It's a ball over the top from Pasher, looking for Christian Duke. Those two pretty much flipped in tonight's lineup, Dave, and we talked to Dos Santos about that decision. Really wanted to get the pace of Pasher back on defense, hoping to track the runs of some dangerous Rio Grande Valley FC attackers.
And even though Pasher is normally featured as a attacking player with Swope Park Rangers, he has played in this role during his career, both coming up through college and high school and in his past. So it's a position he's comfortable with, and I think it's maybe unexpected for some Rangers fans who haven't seen him play there for this team, but I think he'll do pretty well tonight. Very intense player, a player that is going to be a leader on that back line, and like we said in the pregame, the Swope Park Rangers still looking for their first shutout of the season. A new goalkeeper tonight, Pasher added to the back line, and when you're having some struggles on defense, you're going to see some changes like that.
Now Selbo trying to break through the lines, picked up in the back by Mulligan, who had pushed forward, and that ball will find its way back to Callie Brown, leading the team in goals against average. Just allowed 1 goal in 4 games. So gets the start again tonight for the visiting Toros and head coach Wilmer Cabrera. Now Brown blasting up towards the midfield circle. That's a powerful header from Gidic. And Oliveira trying to touch it around. That's a little bit of contact there from Garcia, but referee says play on.
Mark Dos Santos knows that Rio Grande Valley, very dangerous offensive team, so a bit of a tweak to the formation tonight for the Swope Park Rangers. Instead of the traditional 2 attacking midfielders, 1 holding, it's more of 2 defensive midfielders tonight for the home team. So a little bit more defensive-minded, partially because, as we said, the defense hasn't been great this year, but also looking at the firepower of Rio Grande Valley, I think the Rangers feel like this gives them the best chance to hold them down offensively, and of course that leads to a better chance to win the match.
Strong play from Oliveira there, shaking off the challenge of Charlie Ward. And now it's Nansel Selbo driving in on the right wing. Selbo trying to get past his man. He gets in a cross. No deflection there, just didn't get the right accuracy on it, and it'll go out for a goal kick. And that's a good point, Dave, talking about that inversion of the triangle in midfield. Keep an eye on Walefi and Tomas Granito as they are tasked with holding down the midfield, and Dos Santos specifically talked about TJ Kastner trying to come in late and pick up balls just in front of the back line.
Yeah, we thought Kastner was probably going to be starting in the midfield. Instead, he gets the start up top, so probably even in more of a dangerous position most of the night. Like you said, he's going to be lingering there just right in front of the Rangers' back line, so he will be a key guy. TJ Kastner, no goals on the season, but 4 assists. Number 17 right there near the ball. He's definitely a key player for the visitors.
Trying to pressure Pasher there. And now Duke getting the overlap from Pasher in the left back position. Granito now charging forward. It's a good poke from Zach Steinberger, able to take away possession. And now the Toros can move forward. A little bit of a miscommunication, though, between Garcia and Escalante. And Rangers back on the ball. Selbo now battling against 2 men in white there. He's crowded out by a good double team from the visitors. Steinberger driving forward past the midway stripe. It's a tough pass to handle. It bounces off his thigh and out of bounds.
It's too early in the season to talk about must-win games, and I don't think the Rangers are a desperate team by any means, but a win tonight would be huge. Not only is it a revenge-type game against Rio Grande Valley, who beat them 4-1 down in Texas a few weeks ago, but the Rangers, as we've talked about, 7 of the first 10 on the road. It's going to be 8 of the first 12 once we get to the 12-game mark. So a team that really needs some home games and needs some victories. I know that the playoffs are very important to Coach Dos Santos and this team. They don't want to just come out here and be developing players. They want to compete and make the playoffs, and win tonight would really be huge for them.
Sitting in 11th place, but you're right, Dave. Dos Santos talked about not really looking at the standings too closely as they've started on the road. And now a good switch finds Selbo in the box, and he'll have a go from just inside the 18. Good bit of play there from the Rangers and a good shooting opportunity for Nonso Selbel.
Boy, and Selbel struck it really well. He had an absolute laser off that left foot near the edge of the penalty area, but unfortunately skied it over the top of the goal. We take another look here. Nice job setting up his left foot. Got a good shot, but just well high a goal.
He'll definitely try and cut in on his left foot there from the right wing position. Just under 6 minutes played here. Still 0-0. These teams trying to figure each other out. A couple of aerial duels, and the ball winds up in the possession of Rio Grande Valley. Playing it around the back now with Ibiaga and Magales. Magales from Sao Paulo. Plenty of Brazilians on the Rangers team. This game has a little bit of a Brazilian flair to it. And now offside. Waved against Kyle Murphy, trying to get involved for the first time tonight.
Mentioned both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit early, and it'll be interesting to see how long it takes Rio Grande Valley to adjust to that inverted triangle that the Swope Park Rangers are running out, more of a defensive formation. I don't think Rio Grande Valley came in expecting that. That's not the way the Rangers normally play. So, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to adjust. And certainly in the first half, I would have to expect the Rangers a really good chance to win that battle in the midfield until the visitors are able to make some adjustments.
Good couple of flick on by first Duke and then Oliveira, and now Pasher can drive in. He finds Gonzalez in the box, and his touch lets him down. It was a beautiful bit of movement down the left wing. Tyler Pasher coming all the way up from his left back position.
Yeah, I think Mark-Anthony Gonzalez will probably look back and think he should have done better with this. It was an outstretched foot that he was just barely able to touch it, but what speed by Pasher up this near sideline and a great ball across. And if Gonzalez was able to control it, or maybe even to hit a shot first time, I think he could have put it in the back of the net. First really dangerous moment of the match for either team.
It's a very good opportunity for Swope Park Rangers. As you look, just doesn't get his touch right in the box. But good warning signs there from the left side, as there were a couple good flick-ons from Christian Duke and Kevin Oliveira to get that move going. Now a big switch looking for Jimmy Mulligan, trying to raid down the right wing and just unable to get that one under his control.
Broadcast from the rooftop here, Carter. I'm looking to my right and I see Sporting KC legend Jimmy Nielsen, who'll be joining us at halftime, so it'll be fun to catch up with a White Puma. He's here doing a little bit of scouting as Oklahoma City coming in about 10 days here to the Swope Soccer Village, so definitely stay tuned during the halftime show for that.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to talking to Jimmy Nielsen at halftime.
Doing a heck of a job down there in Oklahoma City.
That he is. The Energy find themselves in 6th place, which is 2 spots behind the visitors tonight, Rio Grande Valley, who are on a 6-game unbeaten run on the road. They lost their first road game of the season. The LA Galaxy haven't lost a road game since.
We mentioned the standings earlier, and the Rangers, it doesn't sound good when you say they're 11th and 15th, but they've also played some of the fewest games in the league. So it's one of those things where you almost need to adjust the standings to look for points per game, because the Rangers haven't been that bad, and you'd think once they get the number of games played, they take advantage of those games in hand, and then, as we mentioned, also able to take advantage of a lot of home games remaining. Still a chance for this team to make the playoffs for sure.
A lot of home games, a lot of points still left on the schedule. As the Rangers getting play back underway from the restart. That's a really good turn from Oliveira and a nice little layoff. And now Nonso Selbel just didn't hold his run enough. Good work from Oliveira and Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, and just a lazy run on the right side of the field.
Yeah, Selbel's not arguing the call. It looked really close there. I guess he must have been a hair offside, because no argument at all there from the Rangers forward. But again, really nice build-up there. That's early in the match. As far as the offensive chances have gone, it's been all Swope Park Rangers. The first 10 minutes here, they've looked very good, being able to put the ball in dangerous spots a few times, and really nothing of that sort from the visitors yet. It's a very good start for Swope Park.
Inverting that triangle in midfield, trying to win the possession battle, and looks like it's working so far, as Dave just said. Now Pasher on the near side, getting it up to Duke. Talked to Christian Duke about his position switch this evening, and the captain for the Rangers said, you know, he grew up playing as a midfielder, so he was excited to move forward into the attack for tonight. It's a testing ball dealt well with by Magales, but the second ball falls to Oliveira, and that's a good layoff from Duke, as Selbel charging in now, cutting back again to that left foot. and he tries to cross it. It's blocked away. That'll be the first corner of the match as Bourgeois was able to block the cross, but now the big boys can come up for the Rangers.
Yeah, and Selbel, he ends up poking it with his right foot and deflects out for a corner kick, but I think he would have really liked to have been able to create a little space and get that ball on his left foot and take a shot at goal. Nonetheless, like you said, first corner kick of the match and definitely a good scoring chance here for the home team.
Oliveira will go over to the far side and take an out-swinging corner with his right foot. Both center backs up in the box for Swope Park Rangers. It's a ball floating across everyone, and now Christian Duke challenging for it. Neither player could find the ball. It's good work from Duke to keep possession, and now there'll be a second phase of this set-piece opportunity. Granito's ball is poor and easily cleared. And now perhaps Rio Grande Valley can break away. No, it's Granito stepping back in to win possession. 11.5 minutes gone here in the first half in Kansas City, Missouri. Still scoreless, but the home side seeing the majority of the ball so far and the majority of the chances.
Saw Alec Can get a touch there a moment ago on loan from Sporting KC. And of course, they're in the international break right now, but back in action next week in U.S. Open Cup play. And you'd have to think this is a tune-up match of sorts for Can. We saw him once this year in MLS play thus far for Sporting KC, but based on the track record of Peter Vermees and his staff, I think a pretty good chance that, especially considering Can's getting the start here tonight, I think a pretty good chance we'll see him in goal next week in U.S. Open Cup play.
Yeah, I talked to Sporting KC goalkeepers coach John Pasquarello, and that's exactly what they had in mind. A little bit of a tune-up for Alec Can. And of course, that's what this team is able to do this year with the new coming USL team here in Kansas City. Swope Park Rangers allowing Sporting KC to give their players a run out.
We mentioned Pasher on the back line tonight. I think that's another tie-in we've seen a bit at the A club, if you will, at Sporting KC this year. Jimmy Madranda, usually an offensive-minded player, has found his way into that left fullback spot and started to solidify that position.
Now Oliveira charging in the box, tries to get around, but it's a good challenge from Megales, but that'll be another corner kick for Swope Park Rangers.
But as I was saying, I think you're seeing a bit of what Sporting's doing with Jimmy Madranda with Pasher here for the Swope Park Rangers. You put an offensive-minded guy that's still pretty good on defense, and he's at left back, and he can fly up the field and get involved in the offense, and we've already seen that once from Pasher here tonight.
Certainly not afraid of getting forward and has the pace to do so. But now it's Oliveira, an in-swinger from the near side, straight down the throat of Callie Brown, who calmly catches that one and allows his team to push upfield. And Dave, you mentioned Mark Dos Santos talking about Tyler Pasher in that sense, and that he wanted him to be a well-rounded left-sided player, so not just in the attack, but in the defensive zone as well.
I've been impressed by Oliveira here early in the match. He's already had 3 set-piece opportunities, and that one, it looks like it's harmlessly caught by the goalkeeper, which it was, but that's the 3rd time he's put the ball into a dangerous spot on the field. So Swope Park Rangers keep building up these set-piece opportunities. They're going to find one in the back of the net here pretty soon.
And while Leffy, like a handball actually was called against Mark Anthony Gonzalez, and the handball called by head referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. is the man in the middle tonight. Assistant referees are Kyle Atkins and Royce Van Rokel. 4th official Robert Sori mending things on the sideline. And that ensuing free kick goes all the way back to the hands of Alec Can. Got one start, as Dave mentioned, for Sporting Kansas City against Vancouver Whitecaps.
I'll tell you that from everything I've been told, the Sporting KC coaching staff very high on Alec Can, and that's not to say there's a goalkeeping controversy of any sort, but I think in preseason all I heard was positive things about Alec Can. He looked good in his one appearance he made. Gave up 1 goal, but it was really nothing he could do on that finish by Vancouver. So this is a guy that's come in with, like you said, limited playing time, but someone the coaching staff is really high on, and I'm excited to see what he does tonight. About 15 minutes gone, hasn't been tested yet, but I'm sure we'll see that at some point.
Quarter of an hour gone, and these teams still feeling each other out. It was an early goal scored by Memo Rodriguez down in Rio Grande Valley FC to start that game pretty well for the Toros. Went on to win 4-1 in the first meeting between these two clubs. And like Gidic there holding his ankle for a second as he cleared that one out of bounds, but looks to be okay. Working along the near sideline, Steinberger gets it into Kastner. Now Kastner in a dangerous position. That's a great ball across the 6. Dealt with just about by Jimmy Mulligan. And now Nancel Selbo tries to get clear, perhaps a little bit too clever with the dribbling. And now Rio Grande Valley can charge into the box, a bit of contact, and a few arms up in the air from the Rio Grande Valley players asking for a penalty.
Yeah, I think that's a good no call. That looked like a flop to me on first sight, and a really big interception by Mulligan. He didn't clear the ball completely out of danger, but it was a very dangerous ball across by Rio Grande Valley, and if it wasn't for Mulligan there, I think that would have been an easy finish for the visitors.
And that was the first bit of action you see from TJ Kastner. So he was able to get in the box on the right side and really fizz a great ball across the 6-yard box, and as Dave mentioned, if not for Jimmy Mulligan, that could have been dangerous. Now on the other side, it's Kevin Oliveira who started the game brightly for the Rangers. A little elastico move there, that was nice, and now Nancel Selbo can get in onto his right foot, and it's a cutback, and he gets the defender down. But the second defender comes over and clears away, and now Walefi charging forward, and he's fouled by Emilio Garcia. And this is a very dangerous set-piece opportunity for the home side.
Great job by Walefi drawing the foul. I mean, as we just mentioned, at the other end, calls for a penalty kick. I think that was a good no call. No doubt about it on this one. Could have even been a yellow card just outside the penalty area. Like you said, Carter, a very dangerous goal-scoring opportunity for the home side. Rio Grande Valley is going to have to be very organized here because this is a very, very dangerous opportunity here early in the match.
Walefi just getting his toe to that one before Emilio Garcia could clear it away. Good job from the Brazilian to draw the foul, and now Oliveira and Granito standing over this one. They say Tomas Granito has the hardest shot on the team. Perhaps Oliveira has had a few siders with his corner kicks. It will be Oliveira going for the near post, and just wide.
Oh, man, struck that well, didn't he?
Couldn't quite tell. Callie Brown was scrambling to his left post.
We're talking about Oliveira, very accurate here early in the match. This is fourth set-piece opportunity already. And on first glance, I thought he had put that in the corner of the net just wide. And I think he had goalkeeper Callie Brown beat on that one. Let's take another look. And very well struck, just glances off that far post. Another great opportunity, and what a well-struck kick there.
Just trying to get it up and down over the wall. And now in live play, it's a good touch on the shoulder by Gonzalez, and he can get into the box now. Shucks his defender with ease, and now he's charging down the byline, and he fires at that goal. It's a save. Still alive with Oliveira. Outswinger with the left foot, and that's blocked. This play's still alive, and Oliveira tries to turn. It's defended away by Kai Green, but a couple of good opportunities in the box there for Swope Park Rangers.
Man, great stuff offensively from the home team early in the match, and Mark-Anthony Gonzalez ends up with a great turn here, then driving a goal. A little close there, tries a toe poke to surprise the keeper, unable to get it. The follow-up shot deflects off a defender here, but another chance here for the Swope Park Rangers on the corner kick. Gonna be Pasher taking this one.
Pasher now the left footer, taking an outswinger towards the far post, and Gidic will get up and head it, and it's deflected off the line and out momentarily. Now Gidic with the scissor kick trying to get it back in the box.
Man, so many near goals here early in the match for the Swope Park Rangers. I think we may have an injury on the far sideline.
And the ball's actually hit the corner flag and stayed in play. Looks like Walefi down, I believe. He may have gotten hit in the face there as he tried to get past his defender, but Amir Gidic with a huge chance there, rose well and headed it down towards goal, wound up being cleared off the line.
Yeah, like you said, really got a lot of force behind this header as we take another look, and it ends up being blocked just short of going in the back of the net. It's blocked. No one from the Rangers able to poke it in there at close range. So another really good chance here for Swope Park, and really applying all sorts of pressure. We mentioned, the offense really hasn't been the problem for Kansas City this year. I think a lot of people are talking about it because Dane Kelly's out, and he's a guy that's expected to carry the team offensively this season. And talking to Coach Mark Dos Santos yesterday, it sounds like Dane Kelly will be back soon, possibly as soon as this weekend. But like I said, the offense maybe hasn't been exceptional, but it's really on the defensive side there's been more of an issue. The Swope Park Rangers have yet to get a shutout this year through 10 matches. So I think that's the bigger concern at this moment, especially considering that Kelly's about to make his return to the squad.
Dos Santos said it'll be like a new signing, getting the USL all-time leading goal scorer back in the team. Started the season well before going out through injury.
And that's a great point. I mean, we mentioned the Rangers aren't in a great position in the standings right now, but lots of games in hand, and then you're essentially adding an all-star player on top of that. So yet an all-star. You have lots of home games coming up. I think lots of good things still ahead for the Rangers this season.
Mulligan now clearing away, and a nice chest pass from Mark-Anthony Gonzalez. Ball still loose, and a poor touch from Christian Duke allows TJ Kastner to get onto it, but that one goes out of bounds. And a quick throw taken. Christian Duke now charging down the left flank. He'll drop it back with Oliveira. Back in with Duke. Good work there from Duke, and can Pasher get to it? Just manages to keep it in bounds. No, he didn't. It's out of bounds, and that'll be a goal kick.
Well, you saw the pace there from Pasher, though. I thought he had no chance to keep it in, and almost found a way here on the near sideline.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Just over 21 minutes gone here in the first half. 0-0 still the score, but the home side very much on top, and they'll be looking to make this pressure pay off before the halftime interval. Is now a duel in midfield, and a foul adjudged against Zach Steinberger.
That's a good call. Looked like a bit of a high school wrestling move there.
Yeah, it was a bit
good
of a
takedown.
Well, 6 in one, half a dozen in the other there, as they say. And it goes against the Rio Grande Valley man. Now this is a ball over the top, testing for Ibiaga, but he does well with his header. And he finds Charlie Ward, who we haven't heard a whole lot of. Dos Santos picked him out as the danger man. He likes to control possession from deep. And now Walefi with a nice slip pass into Duke. He's looking for Selbel on the far side, headed away by Bourgeois. And now Swope Park Rangers will have to restart their attack. Selbel getting the overlap from Jimmy Mulligan. He'll cut it back and inside with Oliveira. Good ball movement on this play from the Rangers. A slip in the back, and now Oliveira can charge in. There's contact in the box, but it doesn't matter because Mark-Anthony Gonzalez pounces on it, and he scores, and it's 1-0 to Swope Park Rangers.
Great finish, like you said. It looked like the referee was considering a penalty kick. Instead, the play continues, and Mark-Anthony Gonzalez scores for the second straight game. He got his first professional goal last week in the loss at San Antonio, and it ends up being a great goal there by Mark-Anthony Gonzalez. And, the Swope Park Rangers had all the momentum here early in the match, and now they're finally able to take that and convert it. Look at that great finish from close range, and the goalkeeper, Brown, could do absolutely nothing at that point.
And you're right, Dave. I believe the referee was going to call for a penalty there on the challenge on Oliveira. Perhaps a hint of offside there as well, as Gonzalez was just right on the edge, managed to keep onside, according to the assistant referee, and he didn't wait for the whistle to blow. He just went ahead and put it in the back of the net to give the home side a lead.
Talk about a guy that's got to be playing with a lot of confidence right now. Like I said, second straight game with a goal.
That's a bad giveaway from Walefi, and now hopeful effort from distance. Emilio Garcia, excuse me, that's Jose Escalante coming in from the left wing position. Escalante from Tegucigalpa, Honduras. It's picked out by Dos Santos as one of the danger men for this visiting Rio Grande Valley FC. Got a lot of pace on the left wing, but that shot just blazing over, not at all close to testing Alec Can.
You know, as a soccer fan, I'm always worried that first 5 or 6 minutes after you get the goal, it's such a big moment, an emotional moment in the match. You don't want to let down. And maybe we saw one just a minute ago on that giveaway from the Rangers, but definitely need to settle down, get their composure back, and protect this lead. We mentioned some issues on defense for the home team this year, but now they have a lead. I think the game will open up a little bit more, and hopefully they can protect that lead here in front of the home fans.
Having scored the opening goal, if they can keep their clean sheet, the first of their season, as offside is whistled against Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, the goal scorer. If the Rangers can keep their first clean sheet of the season, they will obviously come away with 3 points in this one. Getting that opening goal is so crucial here at home.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the first goal in every match is obviously one of the biggest moments. It's not really any breaking news there, but I think for the Rangers, especially deserved in this case. They've been the aggressor and the better team the first 25 minutes of the match. They've been knocking on the door really several times here in the early going, and the goal was coming, and it's deserved that the home side was the one to get it because they've been the better team here through the first 25 minutes.
Guido Gonzalez Jr. whistling for handball. And it was fortunate for Swope Park Rangers that it can make that early pressure tell. And really I think that inverted triangle is doing wonders in midfield. As we mentioned, Charlie Ward on the ball, the captain for the away side, likes to control the play from deep, but we haven't heard a lot of him so far in this first half. Now a battle along the near side, and while Leffy getting a toe in, he bounces it off his own player. And Steinberger will take a quick throw. Checking in is Garcia, looking for the run of Bourgeois down the left back position, and Bourgeois can keep this in play. That's a tasty cross to the penalty spot, but a powerful header away from Gidic, and now Oliveira charging forward, and he rides the challenge superbly and finds a nice ball to Mark-Anthony Gonzalez onside and in the box, cuts back on his right foot, near post. It's a fantastic finish. It's 2-0 and 2 goals for Mark-Anthony Gonzalez. What a counterattack.
Mark-Anthony Gonzalez again, 3rd goal now in 2 matches. He is on fire, and what a great finish. The defender thought he was going to go with his left foot. He cuts back onto his right foot and buries it at the near post. That's a beautiful goal, and like you said, what a great job on the counterattack. And Swope Park Rangers now dominant with a 2-0 lead here in the early going.
What an incredible counterattack, and Kevin Oliveira at the very heart of that one. He lays this off for Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, and the rest is Anthony Gonzalez in the box there.
And give Oliveira credit. Getting bumped in the midfield, I thought he might be ready to go down and earn the foul. Instead, able to stay on his feet. At that moment, it became a 2v2 break, and a great ball played forward through the 2 defenders to Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, who made that finish look easier than it was. Great team goal and a great counterattack there for the Swope Park Rangers.
A wonderful counterattacking goal gives the home side, Swope Park Rangers, a 2-0 lead here at Children's Mercy Victory Field. Appears that the home confines a little friendlier to Swope Park Rangers, as we mentioned before, having to start 7 of their first 10 games on the road.
And talking to Coach Mark Dos Santos yesterday, he said, hey, we've been on the road a lot. It's not a lot of fun. We need to come out tonight and have fun. Enjoy it. We're in front of the home fans. The guys are sleeping in their own beds. And they certainly came out with energy tonight and have been playing great. And it's interesting, kind of the blossoming here of Mark-Anthony Gonzalez. Like I said, 3rd goal in the last 2 games. We talked about Dane Kelly going to be coming back to spark the offense. They're going to have to find a spot for Mark-Anthony Gonzalez if he can stay in the same form.
Alec Can now clearing it upfield, and let's take a look again at that play in midfield from Oliveira. What a fantastic ball over to Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, and before that he had ridden a challenge from Charlie Ward, as you said, Dave, to turn a 2-on-3 into a 2-on-2 on the break.
And what a finish by Gonzalez. He really gave the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. When he cut back to the right foot, the goalkeeper Brown had to start sliding back towards the middle of the goal, and then a very quick shot by Gonzalez into that near post. Pretty much an undefendable shot, so I don't really blame the goalkeeper Brown on that one for Rio Grande Valley. Just a very precise pass by Oliveira and a clinical finish by Mark-Anthony Gonzalez.
The lead doubled, and it's a double from Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, and now Swope Park Rangers have something to hold on to. Just 29 minutes gone in this first half. Amir Gidic doing well so far in the back line with this newfangled back line, and Granito looking for a foul there. It's a poor pass from Kastner, and that can lead to another breakaway here and a counterattack from the Rangers. It's Subble charging in, looking for Oliveira, just overcooked the pass. Can Oliveira get there? Yes, he momentarily can, but just can't quite keep it in bounds. But a poor pass in midfield, and you see how quickly this Swope Park Rangers team can break.
You know, Carter, there's been so much action here in the first 30 minutes. I don't even know if we've mentioned it. It's Bark at the Park night here tonight. And certainly, I'd say a rough start for the visitors from Rio Grande Valley, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. Take a look at the dogs there.
Dog joke. Look at those puppies.
Yeah, that is a cool event here at Swope Soccer Village, and plenty of people taking advantage of it as well.
You have a dog, Carter?
I don't. My parents do back home, but I don't have one here in Kansas City. What about you?
Yeah, we have a nice puppy, Stella the dog, Lab Retriever. Not here in the broadcast booth tonight, though. She's at home.
Wow, that seems like a missed opportunity.
I agree. We do have the third headset here, but that'll be waiting for Jimmy Nielsen at halftime. But no, it's a cool promotion, and lots of, another commemorative poster night tonight for the home side. $1 hot dogs. think the first 100 dogs in attendance got an inflatable water serving bowl. So it is a cool promotion, and actually it was warm today here in Kansas City, but now the sun going down behind the trees, it's going to be a perfect night and should be just absolutely great weather here for the rest of the match.
And Dave, Coach Dos Santos talked about not only the inverse of having to play your games on the road, but that means you don't get to play many games at home, and they're trying to build some home support in the early stages of this club. So it's good to see the support out tonight. Just the 4th home game of the season for Swope Park Rangers.
And great timing too. We mentioned it earlier with Sporting KC getting a couple weeks off. This is a great chance for the fans who haven't been out here yet to see this. Well, first off, the amazing complex here at the Swope Soccer Village, but then see a very good B team, if you will, the Swope Park Rangers, and what a performance tonight here in front of the Kansas City fans. I think really now, you know, they'll say 2-0 lead's the most dangerous lead in soccer, but you'd much rather be in Kansas City's position than be sitting here where Rio Grande Valley is. And we talked to Coach Dos Santos yesterday about the previous matchup in these two teams. It was a 4-1 win for Rio Grande Valley a few weeks ago. And we asked him how much he studied the film, was he concerned, and he said no. You know, those games in this league don't necessarily have any carryover effect, and I think from what we've seen so far tonight, I think that's absolutely correct.
Foul in the midfield there, and a chance to breathe for the visitors, trailing 2-0, just over a half hour gone here in Kansas City.
And you have to think one more goal from the home side might be enough tonight, and obviously a lot of soccer left, but if they could find a way to get one before the half or maybe early in the second half, make it 3-0, then at that point all you're talking about is Swope Park Rangers trying to find that first shutout of the season. A very good performance early on, but like I said, still lots of time to go in this one.
Yeah, don't want to get ahead of themselves. Swope Park Rangers, as you mentioned, still yet to keep a clean sheet, so this game's still very much in the balance.
Tell you though, a very good way to keep a clean sheet is to possess the ball, and the home team has done a great job keeping possession, especially on those dangerous parts of the field. The visitors really haven't gotten the ball into dangerous territory more than once or twice here in the match.
See Kyle Murphy there dropping all the way back into his own half. Now he's got to run back up to his target forward position, just trying to find any way to get involved in this game. Same with Charlie Ward. Haven't heard a lot of him, and he just misfires a ball there. Get into the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league.
See Alec Can going to be taking this goal kick here in a second, and hasn't had to do much early in the match. I'm not to say I want to see him get tested necessarily as a Swope Park Rangers fan myself, but it'll be interesting to see when he is tested during the match. Hasn't been called on to do much thus far, as it's been the Rangers with really all the good offensive opportunities here in the early going.
A little bit of a miscommunication in the back, and Brown just able to clear it under the pressure of Ibiaga, his own defender. Now that's a good 1-2 along the far side. Selbel and Granito combining. And Jidic now will spray it over to Oliveira, who found himself in a pocket of space on the left-hand side. And Kevin Oliveira really starting this game on fire. I don't know if he'll get the assist for the first goal. He certainly will for the second goal, but played a part for sure in that first one, as he was fouled in the box and the loose ball popped to Mark Anthony Gonzalez. And I know the coaching staff of both Swope Park Rangers and Sporting Kansas City really have high hopes for this Cape Verde kid.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Mark Anthony Gonzalez putting both those shots in the back of the net, I think Oliveira would be without a doubt the man of the match thus far. Instead, you have two guys really vying for that honor at this point. And Pasher here taking the throw-in has had a heck of a start as well. We wondered how he'd do at that left back position, and really has looked good, especially on the offensive end, getting forward here early in the match.
Certainly getting involved from his left back position, and now Oliveira on the ball again, really holding the challenge well, holding play, and able to keep possession. That's a really loose back pass from Walefi, and Tommy Meyer had to come up and deal with it.
Maybe the first time you've called his name tonight. He hasn't had to do much thus far. Tommy Meyer, the only player for Swope Park Rangers that's played every minute of every match thus far this season. But really, it's been a lot more Jedich getting involved with clearances and Meyer getting one of his few touches of the night right there. Like you said, it was a pretty lazy pass back, and a good thing Meyer was alert, or that could have been a breakaway opportunity.
Some complaints from the Rangers on the near touch line as they thought that ball was off Rio Grande Valley, but near side assistant referee saying no, and it'll be a second throw-in in a row for the visitors. And this is a very potent attacking side, the Toros of Rio Grande Valley. 9 different players have scored for this team. Coming into the game, they had scored 7 more goals than Swope Park Rangers.
One of their best goal scorers, Jose Memo Rodriguez, on the bench tonight. I would have to think, assuming he's healthy, we would see him at some point, maybe a halftime substitution or definitely early in the second half. A very good player, but still, even with him on the bench, there's lots of good offensive skill position players on the field right now for Rio Grande Valley. But give credit to Coach Dos Santos coming out in a bit of a non-traditional formation for the home squad, and it's paid big dividends. The visitors, who do have a very potent offensive team, really haven't looked like it here early in the match.
We mentioned in the midst of a 6-game unbeaten streak on the road, find themselves in a 2-0 hole just 10 minutes ago in this first half. Now a good little flick from Walefi. He'll find Oliveira again getting involved. Christian Duke trying to loft it over to the on-rushing Pasher. He's got a lot of speed. He's going to need all of it to keep this one in play. He's able to save it just before it goes out of bounds. Finds Oliveira. No-look pass back to Granito. Now Granito trying to switch the point of attack and just didn't get that one right. Maybe looking for the run a little earlier from Selbel.
Not a bad idea there, but just like you said, a bit overstruck by Granito, a little bit firmer than he would have liked. It ends up sailing harmlessly over the far sideline, but still in a pretty good spot as Swope Park Rangers able to keep Rio Grande Valley pinned deep in their own defensive end.
Granito, been as the chested pass finds its way back to Callie Brown. Tomas Granito has been playing, as we've mentioned, Dave, as more of an attacking midfielder in that midfield triangle, but Mark Dos Santos saying he really fits more as more of a number 6 type player back defending, and he's able to do that tonight. Paired alongside Walefi at the base of that triangle in midfield. Now a throw in on the far side for Rio Grande Valley, and RGV will have another throw, and some words exchanged there on the far side. Mulligan and Escalante.
Like a couple pushes there from Mulligan. Needs to keep his cool here, as you know, barring a meltdown of some sort. This is this game is Swope Park Rangers' game to lose at this point, and if you're Mulligan, you don't want to do anything that might help jeopardize what is a very nice 2-0 lead at this point. Going down a man or something like that could be devastating and really help the comeback chances of the visitors.
Certainly more to lose from a Swope Park Rangers perspective in a fight at this point than the visitors trailing 2-0. Nice back heel there from Bourgeois, but alert to it is Jimmy Mulligan, and he blasts that one out of bounds. Mulligan started every game for the Rangers on loan from the New York Cosmos, and dangerous ball into the box. It pings around, and Charlie Ward gets on this one. Now it's Kastner on the right wing.
Right now we're seeing one of the first really extended spells of possession here for the visiting team as they try to pull one back here before the halftime whistle.
Ward looking for the inside channel run from Steinberger and just didn't get that one right. Now Oliveira trying to find Duke over the top, and Duke in a one-on-one foot race with Kai Green, but just had been unable to hold his run there. I think he wanted to pass a little earlier, and Oliveira just had to crank his foot back for just a half second too long.
It was another one that was very close, though, just watching it in real time. I thought Duke might have stayed on, but like you said, he kind of paused when the ball was kicked. Maybe he thought he was in an offside position, and if the pass was a half second earlier, maybe it's a breakaway opportunity.
And Dave, you mentioned that Rio Grande Valley getting on the ball a little better here in the past couple of minutes, but we've already seen what Swope Park Rangers can do on the counterattack, and that was another example there. Christian Duke just a foot away from breaking away. It's a very quick team Swope Park Rangers have, and they're very dangerous on the counterattack. with a 2-0 lead, that's something that RGV will have to take into consideration.
I think a smart play there by Walefi. You know, he gets the ball, and instead of choosing to attack, just play it back. At this point, you have the 2-0 lead. Just protect it. Get to the halftime with the 2-0 lead. You know, like you said, maybe you can get another counterattack opportunity and really put this game on ice. But I like that play there, just playing it back towards the goalkeeper. No need to put the ball into a spot where you might have a turnover on a dangerous spot of the field, and I think that's a smart choice there by the Swope Park Rangers midfielder.
The ball is turned over on a long ball attempt to the head of Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He just slipped as he was trying to turn on that one. And there's 4 minutes remaining of regular time in this first half. Rio Grande Valley, if they could get one back before the halftime break, that would be a huge break for them.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at Rio Grande Valley and what's their formula to get back into this match, I think, like you said, you need to find a goal here before the halftime whistle or a goal in the first 10 minutes or so of the second half. I think if you do that, you have the momentum and you have a chance to claw back and get that equalizing goal. But the longer this game stays at 2-0, the more and more pressure goes to the road team. And it's already been a very good performance thus far for the Swope Park Rangers. And I think, you know, barring a last-minute goal here, I think they're going to enter the locker room feeling great about this first half.
Still some defending left to do as the Toros played along their back line for extended amount of passes, just trying to get a little bit of the ball here, trying to build some momentum and go forward into the attacking half. Look at that, TJ Kastner all the way back. And he has the ball ripped from him, and now it's a 3-on-2 with Walefi charging forward. Walefi looking for the run of Oliveira, who just held onside, and Oliveira's in the box now. He'll fire at far post, and he finds it. A spectacular breakaway finish. Walefi finding the feet of Oliveira, and it's 3-0 Swope Park Rangers.
That could be all she wrote tonight for Rio Grande Valley, and you mentioned it, Carter. A goal before the half could be huge. It ends up being huge for the home side as it looked like Rio Grande Valley thought there might be a foul called in the midfield. Instead, the referee says play on. It leads to a 3v2 break, and Swope Park Rangers able to finish it off beautifully. 3v2, they stay on side, and a great finish by Oliveira, and Swope Park Rangers now a 3-0 lead. What a dominant performance here in the first half.
Probably their best half of the season. 3 goals, their most they've scored as well. And look at there as the visiting side looking for a foul, and there did appear to be a lot of contact there, but the referee waved play on, and Walefi did really well after that to get forward and get it to Oliveira, and what a finish from the man who's having himself a game.
Yeah, Walefi takes the ball. Could have been a foul. No foul is called, and like you said, a perfect leave. Absolutely perfect for Kevin Oliveira, who just a clinical finish on the far post. It looked like the goalkeeper, Brown, was actually in a pretty good spot, but Oliveira got a lot behind that shot, put it low into the far post, and 3-0 lead for the Swope Park Rangers. Like you said, it's got to be the best half they've played all season.
Most goals they've scored in one game. They've done it all in the first half here. Kevin Oliveira, the man at the middle of all 3 goals. As TJ Kastner did lose possession on that questionable, could have been a foul called against Walefi, but referee didn't pull out his whistle, and the ball found itself in the back of Rio Grande Valley's net.
To be fair, I thought that probably was a foul. It doesn't get called, and it ends up being a huge no call in the match.
A lot of contact on that challenge from Walefi as TJ Kastner was trying to just shield him away from the ball. And I'm sure Wilmer Cabrera won't be happy to take another look at this.
You know, at this point, maybe it's not as big a play because it was already 2-0, but as we take another look, it looks like you took him out from behind, knee to knee, but it is no call, and at that point, it's a 3-on-2 breakaway.
Perhaps Kastner just slipping before, and now he's trying to start this free kick quickly, and he does well to loft the ball over the top, but Zach Steinberger, the Long Beach native, just couldn't get the good touch on it, and in the end, it's scrambled out of bounds, and it'll be the first corner of the match for Rio Grande Valley.
And Pasher, good job with defensive recovery there. It looked like it would be a scoring opportunity for Rio Grande Valley, but like you said, a bad touch, and then Pasher able to get the ball out of danger.
Moving to stoppage time in the first half, and you hear the PA announcer, Alan Henkel, announce 1 minute of added time. That's a good opportunity, actually, perhaps one of the better opportunities of the game for the visitors from the corner kick, and a free header almost, but Just unable to direct it on target.
The fans in the zoo were given a little bit of a taunt on the header attempt. It was, like you said, not a bad chance, but directed well wide of goal there by Rio Grande Valley. And fans here at Swope Soccer Village let them hear a little bit about that as the first half starts to draw towards the close.
Big punt upfield. Second ball now. Oliveira, look at that clever flick over his shoulder to Mark Anthony Gonzalez, and he had just strayed offside. A bit of confused look from Mark Anthony Gonzalez there as the far side AR raises his flag. It was 3-0 and should be just about to the conclusion of this first half. Dave, what do you make of this first half from the Swope Park Rangers?
Obviously a completely different match than what we saw at Rio Grande Valley that saw Swope Park Rangers suffer a 4-1 defeat. This one, from the opening whistle, completely dominant performance by the home side. Great job in possession, creating a lot of good scoring opportunities and converting most of those into goals.
And that is the halftime whistle. Swope Park Rangers leading the visiting Rio Grande Valley FC Toros 3-0 through these two guys walking off the field right now. 2 goals from Mark Anthony Gonzalez got the game started, and then a counter-attacking goal from Kevin Oliveira just before the break of halftime. We'll have the home side, Swope Park Rangers, in a commanding position as they go into the halftime break, leading 3-0. Stick with us, and we'll be back for a halftime interview with Sporting KC great Jimmy Nielsen.
Men's and women's restrooms are located in the southwest corner of Children's Mercy Victory Field near the scoreboard.
Welcome back to halftime at Children's Mercy Victory Field as the home team, Swope Park Rangers, with a commanding first half lead. They lead Rio Grande Valley FC 3-0 on the back of a most impressive first half performance. I'm Carter Augustine alongside Dave Borchard, and Dave started early on with some good pressure from Tyler Pasher and just a miscontrol from Gonzalez, but more to come from the forward.
Oliveira here, a great player in the first half and nearly had a goal. He ends up getting one later in the first half, and one of the best players in the first half for sure, Kevin Oliveira for Swope Park Rangers.
Pasher had a good corner delivery that was cleared off the line by Rio Grande Valley, a good header from Amir Djidic. Now we'll take a look at the opening goal of the game, Dave. It's a good finish from Mark Anthony Gonzalez.
It looked like the referee was considering a penalty kick call. Instead, he lets the play continue on, and like you said, a great finish from Mark Anthony Gonzalez, who got his second right here.
It was a fantastic counterattack as Oliveira rode a challenge in midfield, delivered a peach of a ball, and then Gonzalez cutting back inside, beats the keeper to the near post. That gave the home side a 2-0 lead, and then they would make it 3 before the break.
Oliveira, great first half, and here he gets his goal after really setting up the first 2 goals. Look at this great finish. 3-on-2 break for the home team, and they make it look easy. And you wouldn't have known going in that Swope Park Rangers was the team that's been struggling. They look great in the first half.
By far the most impressive half of the season for the Swope Park Rangers. They lead this one 3-0 at halftime. Stick with us as we'll be right back after this break with an interview with Oklahoma City Energy FC coach Jimmy Nielsen. Halftime here at Children's Mercy Victory Field in Kansas City, Missouri. The score, Swope Park Rangers 3, Rio Grande Valley FC 0. And we have the great pleasure of being joined by Sporting KC great and current OKC Energy FC head coach Jimmy Nielsen. Jimmy, welcome back to Kansas City.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel being back so far?
Feels great. You know, always been happy to come back to this place here. You know, had so many good memories here in the training facilities and in the city. So always a special time for me when I come by.
Jimmy, the Swope Soccer Village here was nice when you were a player, and now looking around it now, it's even more amazing. I mean, this is quite a setup.
That's what I told John Pasquarella just before. When I left, you changed everything and make it so much nicer. The locker rooms, the facilities. No, it's awesome. You know, it's fantastic setup they have here with the youth and with Swope Park. You know, having those facilities means a lot for the development and recruiting of young players. It's absolutely brilliant facilities out here.
And what do you make of Sporting Kansas City able to add Swope Park Rangers to their club's setup and having this USL Pro team and allowing players like Alec Can to come down and get a game tonight?
You know, my personal opinion, every MLS team should have their second teams in a competitive league. And, you know, this year's a great setup, but also for the development of the players. They're not getting so many minutes on the first team. You know, Alec getting in goal tonight. It's fantastic for the players to get that opportunity, to get those games. You can develop to a certain point in training, but you need the games to take the next step.
You're obviously here doing some scouting tonight with the game coming up against Swope Park Rangers here in about 10 days. A really good first half for the home side. What did you see as a scout up here from the press level?
Well, first of all, we're playing Rio Grande on Saturday, and then we'll play Swope Park afterwards. So obviously it was easy for me to get up here and watch the game. But I think Swope Park have dominated first half, and they're really hurting Rio Grande on the turnovers. They look really sharp on the counterattacks, well organized in the back, have not given away a lot of chances. It looks like a very, very solid Swope Park team.
And you guys are in 6th place currently in the Western Conference. You play Rio Grande Valley FC this weekend. Have you been able to keep track of Swope Park Rangers in their inaugural season at all, or you pretty much focus on Oklahoma City?
No, we already played Swope Park once, so obviously I did a little scouting / research on Swope Park leading up to that game, and I think they have a very good competitive team, and I'm really positive on Swope Park making the playoff this year.
You're talking about keeping tabs on teams. I assume you still watch Sporting KC when you can. How closely do you get to follow your former team?
No, of course, when I have the opportunity, I'm watching Sporting Kansas City. You know, normally, you know, getting the games recorded or you're watching the highlights. You know, it's obviously for me watching that. It's been my team for 4 years, and I'm still following the team and I'm still supporting the team 100%. And you know, I'm sure they'll get things turned around and get up there again.
And USL undergoing a rapid expansion as well. 2 teams tonight playing against each other in their first seasons. What do you make of the expansion that USL is undergoing?
I think it's growing fast. It's growing very fast. You know, this is my 3rd season. My first season, there was only 14 teams. Now it's 29 teams, or added 15 teams in 2 seasons. That's a lot. But I think the competitive level is really, really high in the USL, and it's a league that's growing. And it's a great opportunity for young, hungry players to get some competitive playing time instead of just train with their first team. So I think it's fantastic for American soccer.
You know, Jimmy, I was there the day at Union Station when you announced your retirement. It was obviously a very emotional moment, and you know, players would love to play forever if they can, but now you've made that transition to head coach, and I was just wondering, is it what you expected, and how much are you enjoying being the head coach?
Well, I didn't expect I'll gain 40 pounds in 2 years.
You're in the Midwest. I mean,
that's my biggest surprise. No, I think, you know, I always wanted to coach. And when I was back in Denmark, I started already with my coaching license, and I didn't expect that I'll take a job that fast as a head coach. And, you know, it's an exciting product in Oklahoma City. You know, the franchise had only existed this is our 3rd season, and when I started up, it was from scratch. No players, no staff, nothing. So that was a challenge, but obviously a big time learning process for me.
Well, Jimmy, we appreciate you joining us at halftime today. Of course, good luck as you'll be playing these 2 teams in the very near future.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks to Jimmy Nielsen, Oklahoma City's Energy FC head coach, and this halftime still here with a score 3-0. Swope Park Rangers leading Rio Grande Valley.
A regular golf game is above average, I would say, but this has nothing to do with regular golf, so it's pretty irrelevant, unfortunately.
I don't play golf. I'm Hungarian, so I don't play golf. I've never played before, so I'm really excited to play. I think I'm gonna win.
I'm training for the PGA Tour. I practice a lot out of the rough and off to the right. Oh, that's a big frog. As long as Zach keeps putting it in the water. Wait, you have to play it from there. So do I gotta play from here or over there?
My golf score is terrible. Always hook the ball, never keep it on the green. Hopefully better at this.
Get out. Oh, get out. Hey, I went in the water and I beat you.
Yeah, so I lost the ball. That's how bad my shot was. Okay, I can hit at it. I can hit it at it. Here we go. Yes! Ha-ha! Coming back.
So we're up by 2.
The par 5 coming up. This is the longest hole of the day. This is where you get made or broken right here.
Hey, that's what goalkeepers do. We par and we win.
It's all about consistency.
But I feel ashamed that we lost against the goalies. You have to come back and beat them again. We'll be back.
Just returning from halftime as we're about ready to kick this second half off. I'm Carter Augustine, joined again by Dave Borchert as the Swope Park Rangers come out of the halftime break with a 3-0 lead. And Dave, what did you make of that first half from Swope Park Rangers?
You know, you just can't understate how dominant a performance that was. They were the better team from the opening whistle. I think deserved to get the first goal, and then after that, quickly put 2 more in the back of the net. At this point, you would think the game, for all intents and purposes, should be over for the Rangers, but you're wondering, can they get their first shutout of the season? Will Alec Can, who's on loan from Sporting KC, will he get some action in goal? He's obviously on the field, but hasn't been tested yet in the match. And then maybe we'll see the Swope Park Rangers debut for Ayarton, who's on the bench tonight. Coach Mark Dos Santos told us he thought he might be able to go 20 or 25 minutes tonight. Seems like with a 3-0 lead, could be a really good time to get him into the match. So, you know, we'll be following those storylines here in the second half, and you know, we'll see if Rio Grande Valley, you know, it could always change. Maybe they pull one back here in the first few minutes of the half, and we have some more to talk about, but definitely still lots to watch for here in the last 45 minutes.
Team switch sides and no halftime substitutions for either manager, as Alec Can immediately gets the ball in his hands from a long punt downfield. Now the ball just bouncing around in midfield, looking for someone to win possession, and it's Kastner's pass that goes astray. Dave, always good to talk to a Sporting KC legend, and we got one here at halftime with Jimmy Nielsen, also OKC Energy FC head coach, and he's scouting the next 2 opponents for the Energy.
Yeah, it's always good to see the White Puma, and you know, one of those guys that, in my memories, as a Sporting KC fan, a former Sporting KC employee, he's one of those guys that really defined the whole rebranding, because he did play a year for the Wizards. I don't know how many people remember that. He played at Community America Ballpark, and for me, he's kind of the defining guy, that rebrand from the Wizards to Sporting, the new stadium opening. He becomes team captain. They win MLS Cup. Certainly one of the most legendary players of recent memory, and I think you could argue in the history of the Sporting KC franchise. And glad to see him doing so well down in Oklahoma City. You know, you come from a foreign country, and you never know what the thought's going to be. I know a lot of foreign players want to go to New York or LA or Chicago.
Here's the ball crossed in the middle, and sorry, I lied to you. We weren't made aware that there was some halftime substitutions. And one of those, George Malky, just got in the cross there, number 4. Scottsdale, Arizona native, and he creates a opportunity early on, resulting in a corner kick. And now perhaps falling asleep, Swope Park Rangers on this set piece opportunity. And an in-swinger to the far post, and that's a really dangerous opportunity, but it's headed just wide. And early chance for the visitors from a corner kick.
Alec Can coming up a little bit gimpy, maybe ran his left leg, left knee into the goalpost. Let's take another look. He was in a great position. Looked like he had that near post cover, but you see Can, a bit of a collision there, and it was a really good scoring chance. It could have completely changed the texture of this game, and Rio Grande Valley pulled one back here early in the second half, but unfortunately for the home team, they were unable to do so.
Physical challenge in midfield as Christian Duke is knocked to the turf. He gets back up and wins control, fires it forward.
Now, what I was saying about Jimmy Nielsen, it's interesting. A foreign player comes to the Midwest, and when his career's done, he doesn't go back overseas. He doesn't go to one of the big cities. He stays in the Midwest. I think really enjoyed his time here in Kansas City. Obviously, very friendly people here in the middle of the country, and nice to see him stick around and having so much success as a head coach.
So now getting confirmation, and 3 changes made by Wilmer Cabrera. Not sure if perhaps an underestimation of this Swope Park Rangers team, but he's bringing in the captain, Kevin Garcia, at center back, and here's a head injury. So referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. is going to stop play. And that'll allow us to further identify these substitutions. So Kevin Garcia, the captain and reigning Team of the Week player for USL. Number 2, checking in at center back for Sebastian Ibiaga. George Malky checking in for Bradley Bourgeois. And then that man, the danger man, Jose Memo Rodriguez,
in the 46th minute.
checking in as well.
Number 2.
Pretty big collision there a minute ago as we see Gidic also leaving the field for Swope Park Rangers. Incidental, but 2 players really crashed heads pretty hard. It looks like they're both going to be able to continue, though. Like you said, now Rio Grande Valley, you wouldn't think they came in and were just expecting to come out and get a win. I don't think you ever expect to do that on the road, but certainly putting out all their best players here as they hope to mount a furious comeback bid.
Of course, they did just play over the weekend, so a midweek game, pretty tough to balance the squad. And just confirming that Memo Rodriguez checking in for Zach Steinberger, so I believe we'll see TJ Kastner drop into midfield with Memo Rodriguez occupying his usual spot on the wing, and that's exactly what it looks like so far. Just 5 minutes gone here in the second half, still 3-0, but as Dave mentioned, 3 changes for the away side, trying to claw back in this game, and they've started brightly early on. That's a poor pass, though, from Escalante, and Christian Duke can intercept quite easily. Now Mark Gonzalez is alert to that one. A little step over, and he tries to drop it in the path of Oliveira, but good covering from the captain, Kevin Garcia, checking in at halftime and getting his defensive work early on.
Again, Swope Park Rangers not content to just sit there and rest on the 3-0 lead, still obviously pushing for more and maybe letting out some frustration here. We know they were out for revenge against Rio Grande Valley tonight, but I think some frustration with all the road games. Maybe some of them played in less than ideal field conditions. And Swope Park Rangers with a beautiful palace of a soccer field here in Swope Soccer Village, and a great night in front of the great home fans, and they're really coming out and having fun tonight. And Coach Mark Dos Santos has to be thrilled with what he's seen so far. And like I said, not taking the foot off the gas pedal. They've come out in the second half and just looking for more.
Sun setting as we speak, and it's really a beautiful night, as you said, Dave. 85 degrees today, but substantially cooler now as we move on into this second half. Little flick along the far side, and Gidic is able to clear it away. It's a good hold-up play, and now if he can find Selbel, Oliveira could have gotten something away there, but he's crowded out by a double team, and he crashes in afterwards.
Referee really letting him play, isn't he?
He is letting him play there. Looked to be a foul on Magales there, as Oliveira getting a little over-anxious to get the ball back, but play continues on, and another newcomer in the second half, Malky, getting forward. He actually played with John Kempen and Alex Milano in the U.S. U17 residency program, so familiar with a couple of the Swope Park Rangers rostered players. Now Ward seeing a little bit more of the ball early on in this second half, trying to get involved. Head coach Mark Dos Santos saying they really wanted to prevent him from getting on the ball in those deep-lying playmaker positions. Malky looking for the deep switch there and just overcooks that one. And I think you're right, Dave. Perhaps the clean sheet is the big point of focus here in the second half for the Swope Park Rangers.
And I'm sure Coach Dos Santos was talking, he was talking to us yesterday about it, just in a meeting out here at the training facility. I'm sure he was talking to his team this week about the defense and the need to improve and start getting some shutouts. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's something he brought up at halftime as well. I mean, with the game pretty much in hand for Swope Park Rangers, it is a chance to achieve that goal that they haven't done yet this year. So yeah, I think that is definitely a big storyline for the rest of the evening. As you know, we mentioned the 2-0 lead, maybe the most dangerous lead in soccer. I think 3-0 at this point. It's going to take a lot for Rio Grande Valley, I think, to really believe they can get back in this match. I mean, one goal, you have a little bit of life, but you really need a couple goals before you're really sensing a chance to come back and get a point out of this match. So for the home team, they have the momentum. I think they have the confidence and the good attitude right now. So, you know, can they finish off with the clean sheet that they haven't had yet this year?
First, they'll have to defend from a set piece here, as there was a bit of a mix-up on the near sideline. And Memo Rodriguez into the game and in with a really testing ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared well by the Rangers, and Oliveira now will try and break away from pressure. It's a sliding challenge, and that wins possession back for the Toros.
I didn't want to say it right before the free kick and do the patented broadcaster jinx, but even though we have been critical of the defense, Swope Park Rangers have not conceded a goal on a set piece yet this year. So that was a good opportunity there for Rio Grande Valley, but much like they've done all year, Swope Park Rangers very good defensively, able to take a pretty good ball served into the box and clear it out of danger.
And they've got a new general back there on the in between the sticks, Dave. Is that tough to get a new goalkeeper in and still maintain that defensive set piece strength?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, you're talking about players that Alec Can is not used to playing with. He has to be, I would think, especially over-communicative, including a guy in Tyler Pasher that hasn't played on the back line this season for Swope Park.
That's really strong play from Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He shrugs off the first challenge and a second. And Kevin Oliveira looking to the referee. He thought he was barged down from behind. But that's just excellent forward play from Mark Anthony Gonzalez, doing a really good job here on the near sideline.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable tonight. And Oliveira wanted a foul, but not really surprised. The referee has let pretty much everything go in this match. Not that there's been a lot of excessive contact, but things that might be a normal foul, they've been let slide a little bit tonight. So there was some contact there. Oliveira, you see him there calling for a foul, but no surprise it wasn't called the way the rest have been calling the match tonight. And what a move there.
Good ball out from Mulligan, and it's a good touch from Nansel Selbel. He rides the challenge, and now he's in the box. Selbel charging in on goal. Will he square it? Will he shoot? He shoots. It's saved initially, and now it falls to Christian Duke, and he fires over. But you can see, again, the counterattack. Such a weapon for the Swope Park Rangers team.
On Selbel, I think he was trying to go top shelf there as he had the goalkeeper thinking that he might go low. It looked like he was maybe going to try to go into the roof of the goal, and he ended up pulling his jersey up over his face. I think frustrated he was not able to finish it, but like you said, another great chance for the Swope Park Rangers. Taking our look at the toughness there, staying on his feet against the bigger defender, coming in and looked like he might try to skate over the top, but a good positional save there by Brown.
And then Christian Duke following up, just unable to get his rebound shot on target. It's another chance here as Kevin Oliveira getting forward. What a move that is to get past the defender and charge into the box, and he'll fire to the near post. It's deflected and out of bounds. Callie Brown had to be sure that that wasn't going to sneak in past his near post, and it's good work again from Kevin Oliveira, this time shrugging off the challenge of George Malky.
And again, impressive job staying on his feet against a bigger defender. And look at the agility and the strength there, and put the ball towards the near post. Probably would have hit and gone out of bounds, but for Brown playing it safe, able to paw it out, and now Swope Park Rangers taking their time. I think we'll see a lot more of this on the free kicks, on the goal kicks, corner kicks here in the second half. No rush at all for the home team as they look to kill off this match and get that first clean sheet of the season.
So it was a bright start from the visitors in this second half, but Swope Park Rangers have rebounded well, and it's a short corner routine now as Pasher will get it back and with his left foot plays it to the far post just over the head of Amir Djidic, who will try and get there. Fancy footwork from the big man, still keeping it in bounds.
Wow, yeah, great job keeping it in play.
Selbel now dropping it back, and the Rangers will try and reset their attack. Christian Duke just able to keep possession, and they'll go all the way back to Alec Can. And you're right, Dave, no rush for Swope Park Rangers now. They'll just hold on to the ball here. Hear the shin pads clapping there as Tyler Pasher gets it away to Oliveira. Ball now on the left side of the field with Djidic.
See Rio Grande Valley still rushing at the ball, trying to apply some pressure, but you know, at some point as the seconds tick off, if this remains a 3-goal lead, you just wonder how much effort Rio Grande Valley will continue to put in sprinting at the ball like that defensively. At some point, I think your morale would have to drop a little bit, but certainly they're still, the road team's still putting out the effort here early in the second half.
They have been chasing some shadows so far in this game, but still half an hour to go. Get one goal and this game becomes a different proposition. So a loose pass from Granito, and it allows Rio Grande Valley to take control of possession, and now they try and build it through the back. Kevin Garcia looking up the right inside channel. Good cover though from Djidic. He's been steady as a rock so far in this game for the Rangers. It's a loose touch from Selbel, and Memo Rodriguez does good to crowd him out. All over the top from Garcia now. Headed again by Amir Djidic, who is starting to impose himself on this match. Around the corner, ball from Mulligan, and that's a nice little duck of the shoulder from Nansel Selbel. Sizes up his man one-on-one. Looking for the through ball, and just a miscommunication there as Christian Duke was charging in from the left side, but again, it's a combination of Mulligan and Selbel on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it looked like Selbel thought Duke was going to try to spring behind the defense and get behind and make a run on goal. Instead, Duke was cutting back towards the middle. Like you said, just a bit of miscommunication there. Selbel not used to Duke being in an attacking position, and you know, just a bit off on where he was expecting his forward to go on that case.
It's been a bright second half for Nansel Selbel, finding himself in good areas and really working well with the right back Jimmy Mulligan so far in this second period. But team of the week player, the captain, Kevin Garcia, getting it forward. That was Kai Green trying to whip in across. It's headed away, but RGV maintained possession here, played it along the back. Still 3-0. Swope Park Rangers lead at home as we approach the hour mark. Half an hour to go here. Half an hour to hold on to their first clean sheet of the season.
Yeah, it looks like that's the MO right now for Swope Park Rangers. They're fine to let RGV have possession here near midfield and kind of matriculate the ball slowly up the field. Swope Park Rangers, lots of blue jerseys sitting back and defending between that midfield stripe and in front of goalkeeper Alec Can. It's definitely defense mode and look for that counterattack right now for the home team. And it's going to be tough for RGV. Definitely a dangerous offensive team. They have all their weapons on the field right now, but it's going to be tough with Swope Park Rangers now in that defensive mode, playing for the counterattack. And like you said, kind of tasting, they're on the verge of that first shutout of the season. I think it's going to be tough for RGV with Swope Park Rangers really focusing on the defense right now.
It's Alec Can who will loft it forward. It was a good attempt to get it to Christian Duke, but good backtracking from Green. Now Oliveira strong in midfield. He's fouled, but play on, says the referee, advantage, and Selbel charging at the edge of the box. Onto his right foot, trying to find the far post, and just overcooking the finish. Selbel getting involved again, and it was Kevin Oliveira in midfield to start that attack.
Thought Selbel maybe should have taken a shot just a hair earlier. He took an extra touch to get it close, but I thought could have set up a shot right here on his left foot, instead cut back to his right and skied it over the top of the goal. But nonetheless, like you said, it's another good scoring opportunity for the home side. And man, when we take a look at the final stats for the match, they may be a bit skewed because I think RGV is going to have a lot of possession here in the second half, and maybe less offensive opportunities for the home team. But really, they've been the far better team tonight and have created way more of these dangerous scoring chances like we just saw a moment ago.
Clever little back heel there from Pasher as he initially won the ball and charged forward and then just put the brakes on. A nice back heel move, and that'll allow Swope Park Rangers to play it around the back. It's the 4th home game of the season for the Rangers, and having won 2 of the first 3, looking to win 3 of their first 4 home games, and that's good home form, and especially considering they'll have plenty of home games on the remainder of this season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been tough. 7 of the first 10 on the road. It's going to be 8 of the first 12. But now building some momentum. Looks like they're on the verge of another home win. The long-range shot there actually knuckles a little bit and forces a save by Brown. But, yeah, you have a great point. Lots of home games remaining for Swope Park Rangers. This is a good confidence booster. Every time they're here, they're going to keep, engaging and growing this fan base even more. And I think the rest of the season looks bright. His long-range shot, it looked very ambitious, but had a bit of knuckle and had caught Brown a little bit off balance there at the end.
Kevin Oliveira full of confidence, and he really is bossing this game from his attacking midfield position. It's a good shot there, and the ball is played out of bounds, and that'll allow Rio Grande Valley to make their 4th substitution of the game. Checking out number 13, Emilio Garcia. Didn't see a whole lot of him. He scored a goal against the Rangers in the first game. Checking in for him, Eric Bird,
Substitution for Rio Grande
Virginia Beach native, making his 4th appearance of the season for the Toros. A lot on his plate as the visitors still trail in this one 3-0. He'll get an early touch. That's always good as the teammates looking to help him out and get him settled into the game. Not often you see a number 10 on the bench, Dave, but
No.
here is Eric Bird, number 10, checking in now. And Granito adjudged to have fouled on the sliding tackle. It is Escalante trying to get on, that's Kyle Murphy trying to get on the turn there, and just a bit too over anxious was Tomas Granito, playing in perhaps his more natural role tonight.
Haven't heard the whistle much tonight, but heard it there, and now setting up a pretty dangerous free kick opportunity here for the road squad.
TJ Kastner, as Dave mentioned, leads the team with 4 assists, and he will stand over this free kick.
Not great service in there, pretty low. And Swope Park Rangers, at least for the moment, continuing that streak of not conceding on a set piece this season.
Kastner will get it back now and play it wide. This will be a second phase as the center back still staying up there. It's cleared out of bounds, and a deep throw in the attacking half for the Toros. Quick ball in, and it's good work from the corner. But the header attempt from Kyle Murphy is wide of goal, and really he's been feeding on scraps all night.
Yeah, it was tough. He wasn't able to get much on that header, and on top of that, wasn't able to put it on frame. So Alec Can just kind of watched that ball float harmlessly over the end line, about a foot or 2 wide of goal. So, yeah, Murphy's had a tough luck. Not any real slam dunk type of scoring chances for him tonight. In a lot of cases, him up there by himself. As we look right now, the ball lobbed forward, and he's dealing with 4 or 5 Swope Park Ranger defenders, in many cases by himself.
Look at that touch from Jimmy Mulligan. He'll pull it back and try and maintain possession here. Swope Park Rangers trying to move up the table. They're in 11th right now in the USL Western Conference, and you want to keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. Mark Anthony Gonzalez trying to give chase to that hopeful long ball. Does force a tough pass out of bounds, and it'll be a Swope Park Rangers throw on the far side.
I'm sure Mark Anthony Gonzalez will continue his full effort, looking for a potential hat trick as he's really burst on the scene here the last couple games offensively.
Nice touch inside from Selbel to find Granito. He'll charge forward and have a go, just slicing across it and not at all close to the goal there. You can see what Granito's trying to do. It's been said by the coaching staff that he does have the hardest shot on the team, and they were trying to get him to shoot more in the early stages of the season. Perhaps that's not what they had in mind.
I think they want him to shoot more, but that was probably will end up going down as one of his worst efforts of the season. Like you said, nowhere near the goal. And even players with great, strong shots will miss it one from time to time, and that's exactly what we saw there with Granito as he mishit it, and it ended up sailing well wide of goal and curling away from the goal here on the far end of the field.
Pasher doing well to just get to that one and boost it upfield. Shouts of handball, somewhat half-hearted from several Swope Park Rangers players, and a little bit of a mix-up there on the back line between Gidic and Can, and Can will just blast that out of bounds.
I was surprised he was so far off his line. It looked like Gidic could have just cleared it out of bounds or up the field himself, but Can came out and appeared to call off his defender as he alleviated the pressure. Now we have more substitutions coming up here, it looks like.
Chris Tierpak checking in for the home side as he'll check in for Nansel Selbel. What'd you make of Nansel Selbel in this game, Dave? The SKC Academy product checking out after 67 minutes of work.
I think he showed some flashes, you know, not directly involved in the majority of the offensive moments, but I thought he showed some flashes for sure, and you got to like the upside for this kid. Good speed and good ability on the ball, and the future looks bright for sure for Nansel Selbel.
Cross in is headed away by Meyer. Wasn't the best of clearances, and RGV can get in. And that is the sub for the Toros as Christian Lucatero checking in for Jose Escalante. And Lucatero immediately trying to get in on the action with a shot. Pasadena, Texas native. Trying to get on the score sheet after immediately checking in. It's his 10th appearance of the season. And another substitution here, as it looks like Daniel Shallowy checking in for Mark Anthony Gonzalez, and you can hear the appreciation for Mark Anthony Gonzalez as he leaves the field. 2 goals scored today, and really good job up front. And that's a good first effort from Shallowy to get Oliveira in the box. A nice little chop move and a cut back to Shallowy, and he can finish. And what a goal! Shallowy just seconds onto the field, gets a header onto the attack, and then he finishes at the end of a wonderful play from Kevin Oliveira.
Wow, what combination play there. Shallowy to Oliveira, who jukes the goalkeeper and gets it back, and Shallowy able to poke it in the back of the net. Talk about an impact substitution. Carter gets a goal about 15 seconds into the match there. And we were talking about RGV needing a goal to have any hope of clawing back into this match. I think if it wasn't already over, that's got to be the nail in the coffin there for Swope Park Rangers. And it's not going to be Mark Anthony Gonzalez getting the hat trick, but instead his replacement, Daniel Shallowy. Look at this cutback move there, forcing the goalkeeper to come out, then a nice ball across. Shallowy able to keep his feet and put it right in the back of the empty net.
It's an impressive touch from Daniel Shallowy there. And a really nice cutback, as you said, unselfish play as well from Kevin Oliveira to put that on a shelf for Daniel Shallowy to score.
What a game by Oliveira, man.
He's having himself a world of a game, and it's 4-0 Swope Park Rangers. Completely in control here. So they add another one, and perhaps, Dave, Daniel Shallowy, who led the team with 3 goals coming into this one, he saw Mark Anthony Gonzalez get 2 goals to tie the season lead with 3 goals, and Shallowy said, hey, I want to keep my team leading tally, and put it to 4 almost 15 seconds after coming into the game.
If this game gets to 5-0, Carter, we may have to go to more cute dog video shots here.
Dave's been calling for the dog shots all game long. Been a lot of action on the field for Swope Park Rangers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What a performance. And if we were wondering if this team's confidence might be shaken after all these road games and a not great place in the standings, It certainly doesn't look like it tonight. I mean, you were talking about a team coming in slumping, and Swope Park Rangers, a team undefeated in 6 in Rio Grande Valley, and they had also thumped Swope Park Rangers 4-1 a few weeks ago, but it looks like the two teams have kind of flipped tonight. Swope Park Rangers looking full of confidence and great offensive opportunities, and on the other side, Rio Grande Valley unable to really put anything together.
Really flexing their muscle this afternoon. That's a great ball across from the right back position, and good covering play from Jimmy Mulligan, because there was a RGV player, looked like Lucatero, just lurking at the back post there.
And again, for Swope Park Rangers, lots of home games coming up, and the return of an all-star caliber player in Dane Kelly. I mean, this is, if you haven't already made your way out here to Swope Soccer Village, get out and see this team, because they're an exciting team. It's a great product, a great value, and there's lots of home matches coming up over the course of the next few months.
Good pressure there, and the double team wins the ball back. Oliveira riding the challenge. He has had himself a quite good effort tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think him and Mark Anthony Gonzalez certainly the men of the match thus far, but as Oliveira continues, what a performance by him. You wonder if maybe he'll get subbed off, but those two guys have just been exceptional tonight for Swope Park Rangers. So we see another substitution for the home side.
And here is the long-awaited debut. Ayrton checking in to make his USL Pro debut. Checks in for Tomas Granito, who signed on May 13th from Corinthians. Ayrton Pinheiro Victor, as he becomes the 7th foreign roster spot taken up on this team for the Rangers. And Ayrton, I think a lot of high hopes from the coaching staff for this Brazilian playmaker. We talked to Mark Dos Santos about him yesterday.
Now, Carter, I know you've been around the Rangers more than me, and when you're talking about Ayrton, maybe you could give a little scouting report on what the coaching staff exactly sees. You mentioned playmaker. Is he a kind of guy that they expect to be a boost to the offense the rest of the season?
Yeah, Dos Santos had a lot of praise for Ayrton. Said he really likes to keep the play in front of him, control things by pulling the strings from a little deeper position. See him dropping there early already, and now Mulligan with a good cross, a good touch from Duke to maintain possession, and now Ayrton will get his first touch on the ball. Plays it wide with Pasher.
Good opportunity, no pressure at all for Ayrton to get in and make his debut, and if nothing else, Rio Grande Valley, I don't know how much they have left in the tank with this game. Obviously a lost cause at this point. Maybe Ayrton can have the chance to get some space to operate in, like you said. See what he can do. Coach said he has about 20-25 minutes in his legs tonight, and he'll get the last 20 minutes or so.
Slip pass from Oliveira. Some contact there. Play continues, and Tierpak, a teasing cross for Christian Duke, who just at the very outstretch of his leg could not get a touch to that one. It was a good ball from Chris Tierpak.
Oh, what a great idea, too. He put it perfectly behind the defense, and Duke just missed his outstretched slide by a few inches there. That could have been the 5th of the match for the home side. But Tierpak, a great curling ball behind the defense, just a hair too long.
Here's Malky charging forward for the Toros, and he goes right into a cul-de-sac, has to turn around, and Lucatero with his arms out asking for someone to make a move. We tick on into 76th minute here.
Only about 15 more minutes for Swope Park Rangers as they look for that first shutout of the season. Can they finish this off?
Dangerous challenge along the far sideline. And Dave, you mentioned the ref has let him play on tonight, but not going to let that challenge go as Christian Duke is judged to have fouled. This will be another set piece to defend for the home team.
No matter what happens here in the next 15 minutes, this is going to be a great win for the Swope Park Rangers, but I think for Coach Mark Dos Santos, a shutout would be that much sweeter, maybe the icing on the cake here.
He's still, you can hear him on the field side mic, still very much engaged in defending this set piece. You can hear Alec Can yelling as well as that ball floats over the head of everyone in the box, and Mulligan will play it forward. Ayrton now with a good touch to keep things moving forward, and there are numbers here. And that's a good ball forward, and Tierpak can charge in to the box. He has a go, but it's blocked. A good sliding challenge. That's Memo Rodriguez all the way back from the set piece, but you see how quickly, again, this team breaks.
Boy, and Ayrton, the first real offensive moment we've seen from him, and great first touch, and then look at this pass behind the defense. He had two players actually there that had a chance, but Tierpak's shot is blocked, like you said. It ends up being a very routine save for Brown, but got to be impressed here in the early going. A very good start there for Ayrton, and a guy that could, you know, really be an impact offensive player for this team the rest of the way.
As you mentioned, Dave, that was an excellent bit of play from Ayrton there. So foul is called again. This will be the exact same position almost that they just had to defend from the last set piece a minute ago. So perhaps some practice from the set piece and see if they can get a better delivery in this time. The visitors, Rio Grande Valley.
Again, knock on wood here, but Swope Park Rangers yet to concede on one of these set piece opportunities thus far in the 2016 season. Have been very organized defensively on the free kicks and corner kicks tonight. They look for that first shutout of the year.
Two players standing over this one for RGV. It's a near post flick. Still alive in the box, and a couple of Swope Park Rangers defenders crowding it out. There's a man down in the box as well. Looks like Jimmy Mulligan holding his head, trying to get to his feet here as Kastner still maintaining possession, but he'll go all the way back. That'll allow Mulligan to get to his feet and allows the Rangers to reset defensively.
Mulligan still not really moving 100% either. It looked like he was grabbing his shoulder, maybe limping a little bit too, so definitely had a pretty hard collision on that set piece. Looks like he's going to try to stay in the match, at least for now, on that back line.
Mulligan's had himself a good game as well. You have to say that is the case for most of these Swope Park Rangers tonight. A complete team performance so far, leading this one 4-0.
Can't criticize anyone, really. I mean, I'd say the one player we haven't called his name much is the goalkeeper, and I think that's a testament to everybody ahead of him. Alec Can hasn't been asked to do much because the midfield has done so well keeping possession, and the defense in front of him has snuffed out the chances really before they could even get started. Of course, right on cue, he has to scoop up a cross, but really not a real dangerous moment there. And
you're right, it was snuffed out as well. Tommy Meyer blocking the cross and taking all the steam off of it. So an easy collect for Alec Can, who I think if Sporting Kansas City were trying to get a look at him as a goalie tonight, they haven't got a really good look at him because you're right, Dave, the defense has been outstanding.
And we talked to Jimmy Nielsen earlier, and there were some games back in 2012, 2013 where Jimmy Nielsen was facing 0-1, 2 shots on goal. It seemed like almost every game for a couple years with the best defense in Major League Soccer. And yeah, Kance had some of that tonight. He's really had the luxury of having a great team effort in front of him, and certainly don't want to see a comeback of historic proportions tonight if you're a Swope Park Rangers fan, but maybe an accidental kick to the face there. The referee didn't see it, or
he's saying that perhaps he got to the ball. I'm not so sure, but it's Memo Rodriguez down on the ground holding his face, as you said, Dave.
You hate to see that.
SPR just playing this one out of bounds, and referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. calling for the trainer to come on the field. Will he allow the substitution to be made here is the question, as Johnny Grant is getting ready to check in for Christian Duke. Take a look here at the challenge in question.
Seemed like completely accidental here from first view, but we see the contact there and then just trying to clear the ball out of danger, but whiff on the ball. Foot connecting to the nose area, it looked like. And
that looks like a face shot there.
Yeah, that looks pretty painful, no doubt about it, but
Memo Rodriguez, a little doozy, a woozy coming up from that one.
Don't see any blood. I guess that's a good sign, but definitely an accident there, but a dangerous kick, and hopefully Rodriguez will be able to continue.
You can hear the PA announcer letting the pretty pretty good crowd here in attendance know that that substitution was allowed, and Johnny Grant comes on to make his 6th appearance of the season, his 5th from the substitution bench. And because SPR played that one out of bounds, RGV will just throw it back to the goalie, and we'll get this one back underway. Looks like Rodriguez is up and moving okay.
Grant, the substitution, listed on the roster as a defender, but looks like he's going to see some work more as an offensive forward here in the latter stages of the match.
Rodriguez is now jaunted onto the field. And that's a deep clearance from Garcia. That'll go all the way back to Alec Can. He
taking his time, killing off every second he can. It's a good professional move.
Nice little touch there from the goalie as well. Maybe just trying to get himself involved in the game.
Can's shown a big punt ability tonight and really getting his left foot into that one there again.
Now Mulligan and Rodriguez challenging again. This time Rodriguez gets the best, but Mulligan charging back, intercepts the pass. Now Johnny Grant, when he gets in full flow, he is a sight to behold. And he was trying to there, but just a bit of a miscommunication there. Oliveira thought Ayrton was going to be filling that space. Instead, it's a white shirt that he passes to and has a turnover of possession. That's a good one, too, from Kastner, and gets it back from Bird, but snuffed out by Jidic.
Can quickly off his line here. Again, going to kill a couple extra seconds instead of just booting the ball out of danger.
As Alec Can now will take a few seconds off. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Swope Park Rangers, as they'll alternate some away and home games now. But again, they start 8 of the first 12 on the road. That includes an away trip to Whitecaps FC too. And then, as we talked to Jimmy Nielsen at halftime, the next home game, Saturday, June 18th versus Oklahoma City Energy. So we want to be here at Children's Mercy Victory Field for that one. The return of the Puma.
I don't know about you, Carter, but the July 2nd, that looks like the budding rivalry game. St. Louis FC, you got 4th of July weekend. Certainly the Oklahoma City Energy game, like you said, will be a great one, but that St. Louis one definitely is one that's high on my radar as well.
A couple of tasty home games in the near future for the Rangers, as they will play the majority of their games from here on out at home. And that seems to be a blessing for this team, as they're going to go ahead and eat out the rest of these 6 odd minutes on the clock of regular time and try and get a victory here at home to make it 3 of 4 at home victories. And now we'll see another substitution for the home side, and checking out of the game is Kevin Oliveira. And what a performance from Oliveira in this one tonight, Dave.
I think you can make a case for Mark Anthony Gonzalez being man of the match with 2 goals, but I think you even have to probably give a slight edge to Oliveira. What a performance tonight, a goal of his own, a couple of assists, and yeah, Oliveira really making this game go from the midfield tonight. He's the one attacking playmaker in that midfield, with the Swope Park Rangers going with that inverted triangle, 2 defensive midfielders, and Oliveira being the one playmaker. And boy, was he ever tonight. What a great performance, and really carried the team on his back. 1
goal, at least 2 assists, maybe a third. There's the guy that checked in for him, Omar Ballo. This is a nice moment for him, because he was drafted by Houston in the 2015 Super Draft. Of course, Houston being the parent club for Rio Grande Valley. So it'll be a chance for Omar Ballo to perhaps show his former employers what they're missing out on.
It's always a good motivation in sports. You always want to kind of rub it in your former team's face, let them know that they made a mistake. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think that's I think that's probably a pretty big motivation here in the closing moments. And then the other thing still, we've been talking about, just 5 minutes left for Swope Park Rangers, trying to get that first shutout of the season. They're already poised to get a huge win. And can they cap it off with the clean sheet and really make this what'll pretty much be a flawless home performance if they can do that?
Certainly in the eyes of Mark Dos Santos, they were really hoping for a shutout here at home. And we actually talked to Christian Duke yesterday in the Sporting KC show, and he mentioned it as well, saying that it's just been the most disappointing thing that they've conceded in every game so far this season. And he said in strong language as well that it needs to change, and it needs to change now. And you can see the application of that very philosophy tonight.
Yeah, it's not like if this game finishes 4-0, it's not going to be like Swope Park Rangers got a clean sheet but survived a ton of pressure from the visitors. It hasn't been that kind of game. It's been the kind of game where Rio Grande Valley had 1 or 2 good scoring chances in the entire match. I mean, you know, legitimate, possibly could have scored a goal moments. It's been great defense, starting well up the field from the goal, as well as very good possession by the home team. So this wasn't just a survive and advance sort of shutout. It looks like they're poised to really earn this one. They can finish off here the last few moments, and I think it will be satisfying for a team that, like you said, has conceded every single game this year, and this is against one of the top offenses in the league. This would be a very well-earned shutout if they can close this out.
Still a few minutes left to go in this one. As Rio Grande Valley trying to get a goal back and perhaps give them some confidence going into their weekend tilt with the energy. Kastner cutting inside, and he'll have a go, and that is in towards the op staff.
Just a bit outside.
Good touch on the sidelines from the op staff there.
It's a lot of op staff there, Carter.
They're pretty congregated, aren't they, over there? How many guys do you need at the edge of the box? Curious to see who got the touch there, the telling touch for the op staff. I'm sure they'll be bragging about that one later on. Of course, they do such a great job maintaining this facility and Children's Mercy Park out in Kansas City, Kansas. So big props to Ryan Smith and Chris Weich and the rest of the ops crew. Now a little loose touch from Johnny Grant. That lets Eric Berg get onto it, but his pass inside is likewise loose. Moving past the 89-minute mark. TJ Kastner, the super draft pick for the Dynamo this season, played at Clemson and he's had himself a tough game so far today, but he's trying to cut into the box now. And Tierpak will just clear this one up the field, and looks like anything will do here in the final few minutes. Still hear the communication along the back line for Swope Park Rangers as that shutout.
You could tell they really want it.
Yeah, just within arm's reach now.
You would think the dying stages of a 4-0 win may start to relax a little bit, but you certainly don't get that sense. And like you said, our great crew are really catching up the audio there and the communication on the field mics.
Yeah, I shouted out the ops crew, but what a performance tonight from our broadcast crew. Jordan Burrell, producer, and Brad Zimmerman and the rest of the crew did a fantastic job tonight.
So does Chris Weich get double credit? Does he get the ops credit and then a little bit of the broadcast credit too, or how does that work?
I'm not doing it, nope. No, just the ops.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Don't want to go to his head.
Here's a free kick opportunity for the Toros. They'll float it into the back post. It's a good ball, but it's a good header away from Tommy Meyer. And now Ayrton will stretch his legs a little bit. He'll hit a first-time pass, and it's a beauty up towards Shallowy.
Good look.
Shallowy now 1-on-4, and he's tackled to the ground. A hard challenge in the late stages from Memo Rodriguez. Three minutes being shown by the fourth official, Robert Sorey. So just 3 minutes remaining in this game as we move into added time. A win very much on the cards for Swope Park Rangers. Leading 4-0, and Shallowy turning and running at the defense now. But it'll slow it down for Johnny Grant.
Nice step there by Myers. He's gonna, looks like again, he's gonna finish off another match with every single minute played, and the only player on Swope Park Rangers to have done that this year, and I'm sure it feels especially good for him as the guy that's played every second of every minute on that back line and on the cusp here of getting that first shutout of the year.
Missed a little bit of a change with the substitutions as Omar Ballo dropped alongside Tommy Meyer, and Amir Džidić is actually pushed into midfield. So perhaps some tinkering going on from Mark Dos Santos, trying to see if Amir Džidić could perhaps factor on in the midfield at some point this season.
It's a good problem to have, Carter, when you have, you know, too many good players and you need to find a way to get guys on the field, maybe in positions where they're not accustomed to playing. And we mentioned it earlier with Mark Anthony Gonzalez. When Kelly comes back, I think they're going to have to maybe find a role for him if he can keep up this great form in a spot that might not normally be his starting spot. So it's a good problem to have when you have an excess of talent like that.
Certainly had himself a game tonight, and he's making a claim, you're right, Dave, to be included in the starting lineup, even with Dane Kelly returning to full fitness. Now Johnny Grant was looking for the through ball, intercepted by his own player, Shallowy. I think Ireton might have been in along the back line there, but possession kept by the boys in dark blue, and a little miscommunication there. You know, they're both Brazilian, so you'd think they'd have the Portuguese down. Walefi and Ayrton there, as they're actually smiling at each other now in midfield. Up 4-0, you have the ability to perhaps make those small mistakes in midfield.
Just about a minute left, all that Swope Park Rangers need to survive, and
it's another challenge let go by the referee. He's getting an earful from Kastner as Chris Tierpak looked to be a little late on his sliding challenge. Perhaps at this point, Guido Gonzalez is trying to let the game move along into its dying embers.
referee checking his watch, it looks like, and yeah, just seconds remaining, like you said.
Just kind of walking through the final seconds of this one, and that'll be the final act of the game as Guido Gonzalez blows his whistle. And a round of applause from the home crowd here as a fantastic performance from the Swope Park Rangers, their best of the season. They score 4 goals past Rio Grande Valley FC and keep their first clean sheet of the season in a thumping victory here at Children's Mercy Victory Field. Dave Borchard, what did you make of the performance tonight from Swope Park Rangers?
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? It's dominant on the offensive side of the ball and a clean sheet the first time this year on the defensive side. I think it's a great performance. It's certainly one to build on against a team in Rio Grande Valley that have been red hot. And I think the future looks bright for the rest of the year for Swope Park Rangers with lots of home games coming up, more good players to add to the roster, and just a dominant performance tonight. What a great night.
4-0 the final score, so plenty of options to be the man of the match tonight, but there's only one winner, and it's that man, Kevin Oliveira. Tonight's man of the match, presented by Courtyard Overland Park Metcalf, is Kevin Oliveira with 1 goal and 3 assists. The Courtyard Overland Park Metcalf congratulates Kevin Oliveira, tonight's man of the match. Let's take a look at a few highlights from Kevin Oliveira tonight.
Quite a game. He may have to change to the number 10 here pretty soon if he's going to keep up this kind of performance. And he also had some good plays on plays that did not result in goals. And here's Oliveira with his goal tonight. Calm finish on a 2-on-2 breakaway opportunity. Again, gets the ball left out, gets himself in a good position and finds that far post. That was his goal. Had 3 assists as well. Oliveira, what a great performance. And let's give a secondary mention as well to Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Got the first goal of his career last week in a losing effort. Tonight gets 2 goals, including the game winner. And it's a great performance by him as well as Oliveira. And really, the rest of the team, just nobody you could point out tonight that didn't do well. A great performance for the Swope Park Rangers.
Kevin Oliveira, the man of the match. 1 goal and 3 assists. What a performance from him and the rest of the Swope Park Rangers. They go on the road for their next game at Vancouver. But the next home game would be Saturday, June 18th, here at Swope Soccer Village. 7:30 p.m. kick, and they'll be facing the return of the White Puma, Jimmy Nielsen and the Oklahoma City Energy coming to town. And Swope Park Rangers will look to continue their home form so far this season. So they've played 4 at home, winning 3, including tonight coming away 4-0 victors over Rio Grande Valley FC. For Dave Borchard and the rest of the fantastic crew here at Children's Mercy Victory Field, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to what was a thrilling performance from the home side. Kevin Oliveira getting things started, drawing a foul in the box, but his pass falling to Mark Anthony Gonzalez, who scored the first and then added a second just a few minutes later. Doubled the lead, and then Kevin Oliveira scoring the third of the game with a fantastic finish to the far post. And they added one more, and that's the final score tonight. Swope Park Rangers 4, Rio Grande Valley FC 0.
Stretched out to the middle, back to Green.